What's up, good people? Our captain is not in today, so I get to sit in the big boy seat. And boy, do we have a show for you. I don't have to worry about getting cut off today because I won't be doing a lot of talking. So I'll be asking these guys how they feel about this. We have topics today. Tyler Booker, alpha male, surrounded by another alpha, a bunch of other alpha males. It's kind of like one gorilla and 100 men. We'll see how that all works out for Tyler Booker. We have the great Michelle Montaine calling in today, and we'll ask the question to each other: what are some of the things that we're looking for in rookie minicamp? Stay right. What you about to say? Well, cut me off. Go ahead.
He's already cutting him off.
Yeah, baby. We are moving on a great Thursday. Thank you all for being here today. Our captain, Jeff, is out sick, but the other three Stooges are here. We're going to try to do this as best as we possibly can and give you a great show. Like I said earlier, the great Michelle Montaine will be joining us later. She'll be giving her thoughts about the draft picks, what she's looking forward to, all the great things Cowboy related. You want to call Dan out right now?
Yeah, this is your window. This is your window.
Dan Myers, let's go.
But it's just the first name. It's not.
Don't forget.
He does it. I do it my way. He do it his way.
Okay, Frank Sinatra, do it your way.
Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Let's just jump right into this thing, man. I am your host today, former Dallas Cowboy wide receiver Jesse Holley.
Oh, Jesse Holley went 77 yards. It must be a reality show.
To my right
I think Brad needs a cigarette after that. Brad needs a cigarette after that. Go ahead.
It's Clarence Hill.
Club hop hop, where legends drop. Clarence Hill just can't stop. Breaking news, you gotta hop in Club hop hop.
Now getting back to what I was getting ready to say, before you go to Popo, Joe, every time I listen to Brad, Jesse Holley, seems like he needs a cigarette after that. It's so satisfying.
It was
Jesse Holley.
It was an orgasmic experience.
There you go.
Think about that.
I mean, don't be saying see. You laid it up so he can say.
When Brad woke up that day, I promise you, he did not think that game was going to end that way with that player.
It was a crazy game.
I can almost guarantee you he didn't think that. To my far right, the other, I was getting ready to say the other beat writer who doesn't interrupt me, but we had the nose sniffling situation a couple weeks ago.
That was hilarious.
So it must be a beat writer's thing.
I was a little under the weather.
It must be the beat writer's thing. But the second greatest beat writer, Joe Hoyt.
Tell him something, Joe.
I want to point out the fact that I was alerted that mayo on hot dogs in Mexico, that's very accepted. So the quarter Mexican me, very vindicated today. Put mayo on your hot dogs and have a good day, people. Don't be afraid of the establishment.
That Gulf of America thing is on the way.
I mean, you see what I'm talking about?
All the folks eating hot dogs with mayo on it.
5-0 Joe. You're not beating them charges.
My investigation into you is coming to an end.
5-0 Joe.
My undercover experiment is
Popo
almost over.
Joe.
Rookie minicamp starts tomorrow. And, of course, it's the first time that we will get a chance to see the current Cowboys that was drafted in the draft a week ago, what they look like in the Cowboys uniform. Kind of, right? They're not going to be in their full uniform, but they'll be in shirts and T-shirts and helmets. But it'll be the first time that they're officially Cowboy players. Joe, you wrote a story about their number 12 overall pick, Tyler Booker, and just his time back in Alabama, right? And he was an alpha male. He was one of the leaders on that Alabama team. And you gotta think about Alabama. It's a team loaded with a bunch of other alpha males. The talent pool in Alabama is always high. And now Tyler he goes big fish in a little pond to now little fish, kind of 330 pounds, trying to be a little bit, but little fish in this big pond where everybody is uber talented and everybody is an alpha male.
Yeah, one of the things kind of I wrote about, and I'm calling him the Alabama Alpha from now on. It's kind of a little bit of an alliteration there, but I talked with Chris Kapilovich, the offensive line coach from Alabama, and one of the things he said was on his first day, he kind of went into the position meeting, and he's just kind of looking to give his spiel, and he's looking to just kind of say, here, who I am. And he walked in, and he said everyone was just respecting Tyler Booker. There was a clear alpha in the room. He wasn't searching for it. Tyler Booker was that guy. He won most inspirational last year at Alabama, a reward that's usually kind of given to someone who has overcome adversity or, has been through some hardships and bounced back. For Tyler Booker, the reason he won most inspirational was just because everyone was inspired by the way he just acted on a normal basis. He was the clear-cut Alabama alpha. And the reason that I want to talk about this today with both of you, I've been covering the NFL now. This is going to be my third season coming up now. So I would say there's a little, frankly, maybe naivete sometimes that comes around in my just coverage, perhaps. And one thing I want to do is be cynical of myself. I think Tyler Booker has a chance to genuinely be a leader on this team very quickly. But I want to pose it to you guys who have been around the NFL, been more seasoned. How does someone coming in with an alpha kind of tenacity that he has, can that replicate, or is Tyler Booker's best avenue to kind of just be a rookie, show it on the field, and just let things play out?
Well, I'm going to defer to Jesse because he's been in the locker room, he's been in the room, as we say. But he can't come in and be an alpha, be a leader as a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's not how it works. It comes organically. That you have to let that thing come organic. You can't come in and think you're going to be the man with these grown men. You still got a lot of things to learn about the game, about the locker room, about these players. The best thing you can do is sit back in the cut and watch, listen, take it all in. You have leaders. That's one thing I pushed back on from the beginning, when they were talking about the leaders on the offensive line. Tyler Smith is a great leader, perfect leader. He does everything the right way. He says things the right way. He sets the proper tone, and he's a freaking all-pro.
Yeah.
Okay, the idea that you need somebody to come in and lead. No, Tyler Smith's the leader. If Booker would do himself well by following the lead of Tyler Smith and coming in and replicating and duplicating what he does and the type of player he is, because right now he's the best offensive lineman on the team. He's been the best offensive lineman on the team for the last 3 years. He's one of the best offensive linemen in the league. And you can say what you want about Booker. He wasn't necessarily the best offensive lineman in the draft. So he was the best guard in the draft. But, we got to, we don't know what his ceiling is and where he's going to be, but that Alabama stuff don't matter. Everybody, most great high school players go to college, and they not that dude. Mm-hmm. Okay, there are a lot of great players in college who can't replicate what they did in college in the pros. So he has to come in, sit back, and learn from the vets.
We make a big, not we, but we,
the media. World.
The world. We make a big stink about leaders and leadership, especially in sports. Mm-hmm. And we try to always push and force this leadership on the guys who are the best players. And it's not always, and I've been on this program telling you time and time before, like even when it comes to Micah Parsons, like you don't have to tell me. You don't have to keep telling me that you're the leader. Just be.
Yeah.
Just be. And those are the best ones. Organically. And the one thing, and I can talk about football, and I can talk about the National Football League. You want to be followed? Show up.
Yeah.
Show up, dominate. That's who the guys are going to follow. The guys who are doing it the right way, and it helps even more when you're one of the best players. Mm-hmm. When you're one of the best players, when you're D-Ware, and you show up every single day, and you're putting in work every single day, when you speak, folks listen.
Yeah.
Right.
When you speak, folks listen. Now, when you're a riffraff, and you can still be a talented riffraff, but you don't control the ear of the room. You don't control the temperature of the team.
Yeah.
It's so for Tyler Booker, I think for him and nobody cares that you went to Alabama. It doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. Because everybody at this level is uber talented. And actually, the more talented you are, the bigger the target is on your back, even on your own team. Mm-hmm. And not in a negative way, but you think for 1 second that Tyler Booker, when he lines up, that Osa on the other side is saying, I'm about to show this young boy.
Yeah.
You think Mike is not waiting for the opportunity where he's now lined up on the inside against Tyler Booker so that he can show him, Nah, young fella, this ain't that, and this ain't it. You're gonna have to show up every single day. And you know, we get guys that stand out in front of the cameras and try to be the leadership and say these different things. But I can tell you for sure, when you're inside the locker room and you suck, those same guys who are supposed to be the leaders are the same dudes who will laugh at you and chew you out in these meetings when coach putting you on the low lights.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So I think for Tyler, and this situation is just come in and be you.
Yeah.
Just come in and be you. Because if you come in and you're trying to do this over the top thing, you're gonna get laughed at. You will get ostracized. You will get publicly shamed. Now, the good thing for Tyler is he's going to be, in my opinion, in one of the greatest groups that you can be in as a rookie. Because every other position, while they stay together, they still peel off in cliques. Like if you're a running back and you're a running back and I'm a receiver,
Yeah.
but we cool, I might hang with y'all too, but you running backs.
Yeah.
And vice versa. DBs you might see them, 2 or 3 might be with linebackers. Offensive line, you are with no one else. You are with offensive linemen every single day. In the morning, at lift, at breakfast, you sit by each other in meetings, you sit by each other on the planes, you do stuff. And it doesn't matter from the all-pro to the guy barely on the roster. You are with, those dudes stick together like glue. So they will be able to build that relationship, that camaraderie, and Tyler won't have to go out there and be this big. Just go play.
Yeah.
That's what guys respect.
Yeah, and like this talk, this pre-draft talk, this post-draft talk, this interview talk, that's what it is. It's talk, you know. And so yes, we're gonna hear great stories about who this guy is because it's all about potential and what they can be. But what they are right now is a lowly freaking rookie.
Yeah.
In the NFL, and you come to the locker room, you're a lowly rookie in the locker room. You got to find your place. You ain't walking in there being the big dog.
Yeah.
You don't try to come in there and be the big dog because that's not your place. That's not your role. And that's part of, as we're talking about, that's part of the Michael Parsons, DeMarcus Ware thing. You came in here and DeMarcus Ware is the big dog.
Yeah.
I'm talking about as a rookie. So they've been battling since the rookie. This stuff that has bubbled up on social media, they've been battling as a rookie, and certainly Micah showed on the field he's a big dog. Mm-hmm. But when you come in, you can't come in. You better humble yourself.
Yeah,
you better come in and humble yourself and act and show some respect to the guys that's already here and the work they've done. And so that's part of the backdrop of this Micah DeMarcus fallout.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I think Tyler Booker has the chance to actually eventually transform into a leader on this team, because I think he's aware of kind of everything you said too, in terms of you got to go earn it, you got to lead by example. That's how he earned that alpha status at Alabama. It wasn't just step in 5-star, hey, I'm the guy. People just eventually said, man, that is a dude, and I respect him, and I will listen to him because of the work he's already put in. And I think even if you listen to his opening press conference, one thing Tyler Booker hammered home was, hey, someone asked him, like, hey, you were compared to Zach Martin. They said they have a similar grade on Zach Martin to you. And he's like, well, Zach Martin's a Hall of Famer. He's a guy that I watched. I wanted to be like, but I got a long way to go before I could even be remotely close to him. I got to come in, do the work. I got to make sure that I earn even a starting job. They've already kind of declared him an immediate starter. That's one thing Brian Schottenheimer said. You talked about this previously. There's probably not going to be a, hey, Chuma Edoga's going to start there and Tyler Guyton, you got to earn your spot thing at right guard. No, it sounds like Tyler Booker, that spot is yours until you lose it.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, right. And that's why they draft him. So I think he's got, I'll finish. So I think he's got the chance and the mentality to be a leader this year, and I think it's important to do what you laid out. You got to earn it.
But let's pump the brakes. He doesn't need to be a leader this year.
No, I'm talking about eventually.
I know, but you said your last word was this year.
No, I didn't.
He don't need to be a leader ever. I know that we want to make everybody leader.
You don't need. That's not
this
important.
Is like
be a player.
Be a player.
Yeah,
be
a player.
A freaking
that's
player.
The most important thing.
Like,
it's not about
your
leadership.
job. If leadership comes, it comes. But that's not the objective. The objective is to go be a damn good player and help us win football games.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
that's it. If you are the best at what you do, they will follow. It comes like osmosis. It'll happen for you. Yeah. Just go be a player.
So do you think that's why they target those guys in the draft this year, though? Because it's just like maybe they would understand that you got to come in and just play?
I mean,
or
I think that we're giving too much weight with that. I mean, even Shotty said, because he was asked about that. He said, I don't really look whether they're team captain. That's the media who looked that up. He said, I don't look at that. They trying to get players. The thing they're looking for most is can you play? BPA. It's not about their leadership.
He
It's
highlighted love for the game, though, too.
Yes, but most of BPA have love for the game. That should be part of that dynamic. But they're not as putting as much weight on it as we are in the media putting on it. They want players. They need players. Yes, they should love the game.
Yeah, and I think, and I'll say this before we go to break. I mean, character helps.
Yes,
For sure.
Right? Like character helps. And maybe
Sure.
that, I guess you can add leadership in sort of the
Football
umbrella of character. But I want players who love football. Because guess what? Brian Schottenheimer has been around this league enough, maybe not as a head coach, but as a coordinator, as an assistant. And what you do see, you've seen players who love football and what that does to your locker room and what that does to your franchise. But you've also seen a bunch of dudes who have not loved football, right, and how that can also impact your locker room and how that impacts, your franchise. And so I guess seeing it from so many different angles, once you get to that head coach spot, you say, you know what? If this is my first rodeo, I want to try to find as many dudes who love the game as possible. And then once I create that foundation, now I can start going out and maybe picking up a couple, character flawed dudes because they still have talent, man. All right. Stay right here with us. We're coming up next. We'll talk more about rookie minicamp. We'll go through a couple of things that we want to see, each one of us want to see at rookie minicamp from guys like Tyler Booker and others. So stay right here with us. We'll be right back on the DLLS Cowboys Podcast. Concert season is here. Whether you're going to one of the fancy R&B concerts or country music or some other things, I want you to know where you can go and get great seats for a great price. That's our friends over at Game Time. All you got to do is download the app, use the promo code DLLS, and save $20 off your first purchase. And, I'm not a huge concert dude, but I like comedy shows. I like plays. I don't want to be like outside in the amphitheaters. I want to be inside where it's cool. Or if you're saying, hey, football season is looking up, schedule's going to drop in 2 weeks, start getting your tickets in advance. GameTime.com. Download the Game Time app and go over there and use the promo code to get $20 off. Bring a friend, bring a family member, use it for a first date opportunity. Save a couple dollars, go see a play, and then use that money to go to a nice dinner. I don't know. But if you're going to get some tickets, use our friends. What time is it?
Game time.
Ooh. And it's also flooring season. So you can go step off in the night floor and go see a concert, or go see the concert and come back after the concert. And if the floor is nice, maybe you and your date don't make it to the room. You go right there on the floor. You kick in that door and you're on the floor. Now, maybe that floor is wood. Okay?
Wood.
If that floor is wood, then you're good. If it's laminate, be careful. You know what I mean? But it's going to be the high quality laminate. If it's carpet, make sure you take your shoes off because you don't want to damage the carpet. All right? But what you need to do, if you're going to get new flooring, Mother's Day, Father's Day gift, whatever it is, head on over to EmpireToday.com. Just use the simple code, DLLS, and you can save money. Now, I know I did Game Time first, but if you save $350 off, use that money to go to the concert. So this could be this off season of a lifetime for you. You can go to concert going, and you can get your crib hooked up. Professionals over at Empire Today. Head over there now, EmpireToday.com, $350 off your purchase today. All right, rookie minicamp starts tomorrow. I'm excited about rookie minicamp. It's the first time we get to see these young.
R.I.P.
Oh, R.I.P. We thought he died.
Captain.
Jeff is on his deathbed. Jeff is in the chat. What's up, man? I hope you're feeling better.
May perpetual light shine upon you.
Yeah, man. You're down bad. I hope whatever you were doing.
Because he's supposed to play volleyball last. We talked about it yesterday because it was rain. He said we're gonna play volleyball last night.
Oh, are you accusing him of
playing volleyball? He might have got sick playing volleyball.
Well, what happens when he
with the weather?
Playing hooky?
No, I know we know he went to the doctor. He talked about that. I know he went to the he don't have a doctor. He went to urgent care. Who got a doctor? I got a doctor.
I got a doctor too, but sometimes it's hard to get in quickly for medicine, so you go to urgent care. I'm with you, Jeff.
I go to my doctor's office. I
call him. You feel better, brother. I got you, man.
That was well done, though.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, you got it. So, rookie minicamp starts tomorrow. I'm excited. I get a chance. I'll talk to the rookies on Saturday,
which is cool. I didn't know this until you told me this the other day.
I get a chance to talk to the rookies on Saturday. I always look forward to that, and I will relay the message to Tyler.
Yeah,
my boy. Alabama, Alpha, all that kind of stuff.
Don't give a damn.
We don't care.
He'll probably tell you, no, you're right.
Nobody cares.
He's like, I'm ready to work.
Nobody
And I
cares.
like that because they do this rookie symposium. We have guys have it's like scared straight. Okay, they had the Michael Irvins come in and tell them what learn. Don't do what I did. And then they had a Jesse Holly, who's a great story. You have a great story, and you have a different perspective than these people that come in and tell them who these bad guys like they do Pac-Man and Michael Irvin that come in and talk to them about don't mess up like I did. But then you have a guy like you who did it the right way and had to come in and work your way. You have a different story, different perspective because it's all about how you get in the NFL.
It is, but I also give I give life lessons as we go through. Like I get, for example, and I know we're not going there, but we'll get.
No, honestly, I kind of like this idea.
Like, so one of the things that
cool.
I talk about to them, like I always tell the rookies, I don't care where you've been, I don't care what school you've gone to, it's not bigger than this. That you are on a national stage now, so understand that. The second thing I always tell them is be aware of your surroundings. I know where you're going to be for 3 hours every single Sunday. And then when you're on the road for longer than that, watch who you're letting in your house. Because most of the folks that get robbed nowadays, it's an inside job. I know where you're going to be. I know. So be careful of screenshotting and videoing from your crib or letting any and everybody over to your crib, because every time they come over, they watching what you got. They pocket watch and they watch. And then people think when you're in the league that you have a surplus. Now, yes, are you making really good money? Absolutely. That don't mean you could steal from me.
Yeah, for sure.
That don't mean you could take from me because I am.
Right.
So be careful. Then we get into the lady conversation. I'll save that for off the air when I tell them about the ladies conversation.
Can't you do a PC? You can't do PG version?
I use a thing that my coach always told me. I had a coach named Tommy Thigpen. Coach Thigpen told me one day in the elevator. He heard me and my roommate talking about some, what we about to get into tonight. And he just simply looked at me and he said, you ain't that cute, and that ain't her first time.
Dang.
Dang. He said, you ain't that cute, and that ain't her first time.
Tommy Thigpen ain't wrong, though.
And he wasn't wrong.
He ain't wrong.
And I learned the hard way. My first time in Cincinnati, I thought I was the one. Come to find out, I was number 17. Like
no, you were number 16.
I was number 7. I add one to that. Kim
Kardashian, you dated?
I didn't date her, but I was like, oh man, she's a nice girl. They was like, oh man, really? I was like, yeah. They was like, it was like the whole. It was like, remember Usher?
There was a lot of Ray J's.
It was like the Usher and R. Kelly, the same girl. And he started naming her off. He's like, yeah, she looked like this, and they're like, got a tattoo.
I do love that song.
You know what I mean? It was like, yeah. Next thing you know, anyway. And then I get a chance to give them the media side. I get a chance to tell them what Clarence Hill and Joe Hoyt are going to do.
You better speak good about us.
What I'm going to do. No, I'm going to tell the truth.
We do good things.
No. There's some people with agendas.
That's true.
And there's some people, I don't have an agenda.
Unless it's
Can
sexist
you play
related.
or not play? I have no
Unless
agenda.
it's sexist related.
It doesn't matter whether you can play. When you play bad, we're going to talk about you.
Right.
Yeah.
You play good, we're going to talk about you.
Right.
But don't be in your feelings, and we're going to follow you on all your social media. So whatever you doing is news.
Right.
You're a Dallas Cowboy now.
Right.
It ain't. So just giving them a full gamut of what is to come at this level.
And the sad part, the reality
better
part
be
is,
sad.
no, because you can tell them all that, they still gonna do what they want to do. They still gonna make the mistake. Shannon Sharp is still making mistakes at 50 with women. Okay,
I know, man.
And not the first one. Okay,
Right.
I'm just saying, they still gonna make these mistakes, but you have to tell them. It'd be better to tell them than not tell them, because they still gonna bump their heads. Like, you look, as a parent, where I would say, I know the fire's hot. I've had my hand burned before. You don't have to stick your hand in the fire to learn for yourself. Learn from my mistakes, okay? But yet, kids always have to stick their hand in the fire and learn from themselves.
That ain't no problem.
As my grandmother,
That ain't no problem.
Yeah, but
as my grandmother said, and I know this thing is universal. This is not a one-off.
Yeah.
Hard head make a soft tail.
Yes, it's all
I
behind.
haven't heard that. I like that.
You never heard that before?
They ain't never had it behind me like that.
Yeah, hard head.
Yeah,
All right,
just
so,
different kind.
back to the
Different
rookies on the field.
My dad's a CIA agent. We talked about
Well,
that.
we talked about Jeff yesterday. He never had a spanking. So I'm trying to
That happened?
Yeah, one. I mean,
You want me to count how many times I've been spanked as a
Jeff
kid?
never had one, so we were just talking about it.
Oh, yeah, no, I had a lot, yeah.
Okay.
Rookie minicamp starts tomorrow. I'll start with you, Joe. Give me 3 things, briefly, but maybe not so briefly, but give me 3 things that you're looking forward to in seeing the rookies get on the field tomorrow.
I think the thing that I'm really looking to see is that they didn't draft a wide receiver. We know that, right? They were going to draft Tedero McMillan at the 12th pick if he was there. He wasn't. They could have forced Emeka Ibuka, our guy. They could have forced Matthew Golden, your guy. They didn't. So they kept sticking their board. They never drafted a receiver. They did sign 2 undrafted free agents. I think my question is, Trayshawn Holden and Josh Kelly, can either of these guys, and this is a question for the future more, can either of these guys supplant Ryan Flournoy or Jalen Brooks as a receiver and make this roster? I think Trayshawn Holden, when you look at him, I think that guy has a lot of talent, right? I think he's had some off-the-field stuff, some on-the-field stuff between the spitting incident at Ohio State. He can be kind of a hothead, right? But he is talented. And he actually kind of projects as a pretty quality X. And I think that's one thing the Cowboys have been looking for, trying to get an X to play with CeeDee Lamb, right? So I'm wondering if Trayshawn Holden could actually be a guy that makes this roster. And I think it's fascinating because when you look at this undrafted free agent class the Cowboys had, not really heralded. Our friend Duffy has a piece right now on alldlls.com looking at every single undrafted free agent and what the trait is that could allow them to make this team. But spoiler alert, and it's a good story, check it out. At the end of it, he has the rankings of whether or not they would make the 53-man roster. Currently, none of these undrafted free agents he has making the 53-man roster. And that's actually not that usual, right? Usually you could say at least one guy you think could project in a certain spot. I think receiver might be the best chance, but I don't think that right now it's not looking towards, there's 100% guaranteed this guy's going to make the roster. So can one of these wide receivers eventually take the place of either Jalen Brooks or Ryan Flournoy or one of the other back-end receivers on this roster? That's the big thing I'm kind of watching.
It's interesting.
Better be interesting.
Outside of sheer just talent alone, the one thing that the guy that you're talking about have is you always talk about a sponsor.
Yeah.
Right? Having a sponsor, having someone on the other side. Jason Garrett told me, I wish I had 53 of you and cut the one that he had. But having a sponsor, my sponsor was Joe DeCamillis.
Yeah.
Having someone on the other side that is vouching for you. With Brian Schottenheimer being a new head coach, when it came to signing these free agents, there had to be some sponsors. There had to be some people on the other side that said, this is the guy that we should go after. Whether it's the wide receiver coach, whether it's the quarterback coach, whether it's Brian Schottenheimer himself. And that's the one thing. And coaches want to take ownership of the guys that they brought in, their class that they brought in. So if there's any kind of hope in the names that you named, it's the fact that these are Shoddy's guys. Those other guys aren't, so to speak.
And Holden, too, is Junior Adams is the wide receiver coach.
Yeah.
Coach Holden.
And ultimately, I'm glad you brought up Joe DeCamillis. It's one thing to have a sponsor that brings you in, but it's a sponsor that has to keep you in. That's going to be the special teams coach. Okay, because all these guys have to make their mark on special teams. They really, truly want to make the team, and they need the special teams coach like Joe DeCamillis to be their sponsor. Not
everybody but Jaydon Blue, huh?
Not the position coach, because Junior Adams brought him in.
Yeah, for sure.
But if he makes the team as a 6'7" receiver, he's going to make his mark on special teams. You're not replacing Flournoy and those guys back in the roster to be CD's number 2. You're placing them to make a mark on special teams. They have to make a mark on special teams to really make this team. That's where their sponsor needs to come from.
Okay. All right, so what we'll do is, because we're running out of time.
Blue.
Yeah, except Blue. I get it. Yeah, you think Blue's not going to play?
You accuse people of carrying agendas, and then if it's a Texas guy, you got an agenda. If it's a Texas guy,
I said last year he should have been benched. I don't have an agenda with Blue.
TC, we got any super chats? No super chats. Damn.
I do want to say one thing. We'll go back to the previous segment. Jason Garrett started with right. I mean, what Schottenheimer's talking about, culture and guys that love the game, that's not new.
No, okay? It's not.
It's something that Jason Garrett's talked about.
Well, every
right?
coach talks about it.
Right.
Yeah.
So we can't put too much weight on it, okay? Because every coach wants the right kind of guy, character guys that love the game, that's going to do the right thing and all the other stuff. That's what they all want. And so just because these guys have it don't mean they're going to make a difference. The goal is to win the Super Bowl, get to the Super Bowl, do something like that. Yes, you want the right kind of guy. It was a Garrett term, And so, yeah, he's talking about culture, guys that love the game. Yes, we want guys that love the game. We want team captains. Great. We love character football players. Great. Can you freaking play? When it's fourth quarter, when it's the playoff, are you going to show up and knock the hell out of the dude on the other side of you. You're going to do something, get the ball back. You're going to make a play, get a touchdown. That's what matters most.
But maybe, to Jesse's point, they needed a foundation. And I think that if you look at it, these guys all have that thing in common. And so maybe eventually you can go draft the guy that might have some character concerns because you have a foundation. Maybe without all these leaders that they lost this year, they did lose leaders. They think that they need to at least get some guys who eventually can be and kind of round out the culture.
But you have found Dak is a foundational guy, okay? OC
Yeah,
is a
no, for
foundational
sure.
guy.
But you've lost some.
Yeah, but you got a lot of those guys on the team. I mean, we talked about this, and there ain't a lot of bad guys on this team. There ain't a lot of guys you got to bail out of jail on this team. They got a lot of good guys. They're filled with good guys already. So it's not like you don't have that. I mean, the biggest demerit is, by God, we have a podcast. That's the biggest controversy on this team. They ain't like a bunch of guys running the streets. You don't see them at the clubs and getting arrested. They don't have a lot of bad character guys already. So, yeah, all of that's true, but it's not like it was a problem.
Yeah, good point. All right, next up, we'll have the great Michelle Montaine joining the show, and we'll ask her some of the things that she's looking forward to in rookie minicamp with some of these rookies, and even furthermore into training camp and the season. Stay right here with us. The Cowboys DLLS Podcast will be right back. The sun is out. Sometimes these guns be out, but my eyes be covered in my shady rays, okay? If you want to look styling and profiling this spring, this summer, you need to head over to shadyrays.com and get you a pair of polarized sunglasses. If you want to save a little money doing it, you can save 35% off a pair by simply using our promo code DLLS. It gets you 35% off all the many styles that Shady Rays offer. We heard our captain Jeff last week talking about he did lose his Shady Rays. And all you have to do, because they have a great loss policy, they have a great broken policy, they have a great I just changed my mind policy. If you buy a pair of Shady Rays today, what it can get you is, if you lose them, Shady Rays said, just reach out to us. We'll send you a new pair. If you break them, we'll do the same. Send you a new pair. If you just don't like them anymore, great. We'll send you a new pair. Head over to shadyrays.com. Use the promo code DLLS and get a new pair of glasses today. And loans, what is this? The Lone Star Smoke Out.com. Did you guys sign up for this? You know we can go.
Oh yeah, we get tickets.
We go for free.
And I get 2 tickets though. They tell me we got one. I got to take a +1. I'm sorry, I need a +1.
You always got to do the black thing. You want more than what they
I didn't want a +1, dog. I'm supposed to walk around by myself.
Yeah, barbecue and country music. What's more Texas than that? The Lone Star Smokeout is coming to AT&T Stadium May 2nd through 4th. Try barbecue from 14 teams across the U.S. and decide for yourself who's really the champ. I'm going to be there because I like me some barbecue. And if I can get barbecue for free, it's all for me. Pair all the events each day like Texas' biggest happy hour, Derby Day, Cinco de Mayo, a day early. Country's biggest country's biggest stars like Cody Jinks, John Party, and Midland.
Beyonce?
No, not Beyonce. LoneStarSmokeout.com.
That's okay.
I couldn't get that out to save my life.
Hey, man, you did good. You did good.
Do we have Michelle?
You have Michelle.
Yes.
Hey, guys.
What's up, young lady? How are you?
We're hat gang today. Can y'all read this? It says something cowboy. So I wore it for my cowboy,
Blue Jean Cowboy. Is that the Beyonce album or no? Am I tripping?
That's Cowboy Carter. So I need to.
Whatever.
You never beat them charges.
Oh, whatever. One of them.
It's
fine.
Charges.
She had a Levi's deal. She had a Levi's deal.
Okay, but it's not.
Don't listen to Clarence.
I try. Trust me.
I woke you up this morning.
You did. Yeah. Not the best way to wake up.
Don't do that. Don't do that. You're so bad.
Your cell phone wasn't charged. Anyway, all right. So, Michelle, we haven't talked to you since the draft happened. And so let's just get your thoughts on what you thought the Cowboys did in this draft. You like it? You didn't like it? Was it not sexy enough for you? Not exciting enough for you? Or did you feel like how Jeff felt, where he just was like, you know what? They went best available player. I love it. Let's play football.
Probably lean more towards how Jeff felt about it. I mean, overall, this wasn't like a draft class full of stars. So I don't know that any team really had like a sexy draft class. And it was interesting because I was actually in the Star, or in the Ford Center at the Star when Tyler Booker was announced as their first round draft pick with all of the fans that were there. And obviously, if fans are going out to that watch party, they're the diehards already, and they were probably going to be, just happy to be there. I was almost expecting some boos. And while I definitely heard some from the crowd, there was way more cheers and excitement than I was expecting with the Joneses selecting another offensive lineman in the first round. But now that things have come out about, theoretically what they were looking for if they were going to trade back, I think taking Tyler Booker at 12 made sense. And more than anything, I feel like Brian Schottenheimer's fingerprints are all over this draft class. He talked about from the moment that he was hired that he wanted to be a strong unit up front on both sides of the ball. And I think the draft selections really supported that. So overall, you know what? I was surprised by some of the choices, but given what was best available at the time, I think that's really what they stuck to in this draft. That's what stuck out to me.
Hi, Michelle.
Hey, you. Guess who has Jaydon Blue on their roster?
She's a Longhorn. She's a Longhorn.
Oh,
we got the same agenda.
More
we got,
agenda
we got the
pushing.
same. So before we talk Jaydon Blue, she was supposed to come on Saturday night on our show, but she was too busy.
I wasn't invited.
You were too busy for it. You were what?
Yeah, get him.
You did what?
Huh?
You were too busy for a Saturday.
No,
I mean,
that
Friday
was
night.
Friday.
Friday. You were too busy Friday, right? You were too busy to come on our draft show.
I mean, I was doing things. And then I was like, anytime you need me tomorrow during this 8-hour window of drafting, let me know. And silence.
We did a post show. We didn't do an 8-hour show. But we talked on Friday, and she was supposed to send me the video because Channel 8 had a great video of a fan. Can you just talk about that video of that fan and how he reacted to the Tyler Booker pick? This is the guy that didn't like the pick.
I would try to reenact it, but at the fear of making a fool out of myself, I'm not going to do that. This man's reaction basically centered around the idea of, we need weapons. And he obviously, with the rest of probably Cowboys Nation, wanted the Cowboys to select a wide receiver in the first round, let alone just like somewhere in the draft, which obviously didn't happen. But his whole point was, we need weapons. Look at what we did when we drafted all these first round picks, and look at how we finished last season. And I get his point. He also touched on the fact that when was it Amari Cooper he was here, that they actually started winning, and was just pointing to the fact that he wanted more weapons on the outside. I mean, he has a point. There's still work to do in the wide receiver room, but he was one of the fans that was not happy about the first round draft pick. And that clip not only went viral, I think it went viral on every single platform, independently, because it was.
I was trying to get her to share it with me so I could put it on our platform, but she wouldn't do it. It's a Channel 8 property.
You.
It's Channel 8 property. No, you didn't.
I sent it to you.
No, you didn't. Regarding Blue, you watched him like I watched him in Texas.
You said it to Calvin.
Yes.
Not Clarence.
You sent it to me.
I'm pulling up me sending it to Clarence. Terrence. Go ahead.
See. Regarding Blue, you watched him like I did in Texas. Talk about your excitement of seeing a Longhorn. And what do you expect from Jaydon Blue?
I didn't send it to
I know you didn't.
Oh. Dang, live receipts on air.
Literally.
We talked about this. She was sitting in your seat, and we were talking. I said, send me that damn clip. I want to put it on.
Let me go ahead and do that.
That's some gotcha journalism right there.
I'm so excited about Jaydon Blue. I understand the concerns with him putting the ball on the ground, because there were a couple times this season, Clarence, when I was like, oh my God. Why we keep doing that? But oh gosh, when we looked at the running back room ahead of the draft, I remember being on the show talking about it. There was no one that you really got excited about. And I know this guy is a rookie, no NFL experience, has some areas of improvement or opportunities for improvement in his game. But as far as just his explosiveness and watching him play, I think he's a guy that Cowboys fans are really going to love. And the fact that he's from Houston, got to play at the flagship, of the state and then now gets to be a Cowboy, like Texas through and through. I think, you know how much people love Demo and the excitement that he brings to the roster. Not that Jaydon Blue personality wise is that level of character, but I think those two together getting to have that, Longhorn bond at a franchise like the Cowboys, I'm excited about it.
Michelle, I want to point out that there's more Oregon guys on the Cowboys roster than Texas guys right now, so I think that's a dub for me, just FYI. But you talked about the receivers and the guy wanting weapons. They didn't get one in the draft, at all. They had added a couple undrafted free agents, but there's still a search for wide receiver 2. At a certain point, though, when you kind of look around at the potential options for wide receiver 2, is there a certain point where you think maybe the Cowboys go, hey, maybe we got McDonald's at home. I don't know if we need to go get McDonald's because when you look out there, I'm not sure that the options are actually better than we have. Or do you think that there's an option out there where, you know what, get this guy, come in, compete to be wide receiver 2 next to CeeDee Lamb?
I think with the way that the Cowboys operate, they're not willing to pay whoever would be out there that could make a difference at wide receiver 2. And I think we've seen that in recent years. And guys that they have brought in through free agency haven't done the job, And so I would think that with the way things are going, and we had a graphic that ran, I think last week, it was like CeeDee Lamb and the Lambettes. And it was literally like every other, what? Why are you laughing? Why are you mad?
That's better than the maybes.
Well, we called them, we got lamb chops. Yeah, we got CeeDee and the beats.
Who came up with lamb chops?
Yeah, we got CeeDee and the lamb chops, and we got CeeDee and the maybes, and you got Lambettes. Lambettes is, that's a female. Ooh, oh my God.
Oh, that's okay, sorry. Scratch that.
I kind of like Lambettes.
Really?
But
I think it's creative.
I think it's more like baby lamb, not female lamb.
Because you could go from Lambettes to the Lamettes.
Okay, that's you making those. That's you drawing those conclusions. That's not me. But anyways, all that to say, there were 20 names listed underneath CeeDee Lamb, and I think I was most excited about Kevontae Turpin, all 5'7" of him. So I don't, and which is not a legitimate. Not that he's not a legitimate option for wide receiver 2, but obviously they need some other types of skill players in that room. And I don't know. It's a really good question. I feel like as history would show, they're not willing to go get the McDonald's from the store. They're just, I think, going to try to continue to develop what they have. Because I don't know that they see the value in getting someone that's out there.
Real quickly, it's the window into the soul here. We've been bonding since she showed up in training camp. Since they brought up Calvin, just talk about your experience with Calvin when we were going to this Greek restaurant for dinner in training camp.
I can't tell that story. You guys tell it so much better than me.
We were going to a Greek restaurant, and Calvin said, "What kind of food they serve? Italian?"
It was. I mean,
that's iconic.
I will laugh.
That's what you get with Calvin Watkins. I'm just trying to tell you. Don't try to replace me with Calvin Watkins, okay? That's what you get. Did he not say that? Did he not say that?
Tell him what happened at the Greek restaurant.
I can't remember. Go ahead. What happened?
We're sitting there and they served bread with olive oil as the, free appetizer to start your Greek meal. And instead of taking a piece of bread and dipping it in the olive oil, Calvin takes the bottle of olive oil, dumps it on his bread, and
oh, that's wild. That is a wild move.
Y'all can't take everybody everywhere. Some folks you got to leave at home. All right, Michelle, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Now we'll give you a little bit of time so you can get off this call and text Clarence the video that he's been asking for for a couple of days now. All right. Thank you. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
You're the best.
TC, I know we have a couple super chats now. Let's hit them right quick. We got Vance. He says, Jesse talking to this UNC team about girl. No, listen.
About what?
Oh, girl.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, no, we can move on.
We got fleeced. But what we got here? We got Droles and O's. Advice for the rookies. Remember, it's $50 per song. You know about that, Pop.
Man, y'all tripping, man.
You know about that.
Y'all tripping.
You can't. Don't be in there trying to save them. Don't ask them what they doing in here and what their future plans are.
Or it could be like Shannon. It's $25K per what? per cheek.
It'll cost you that. It'll cost you that much.
Dro had another comment that's pretty funny. Not a super one though. He says CD and the cassettes, and I think that's pretty. That might be the best one.
Put that on the t-shirt.
And one guy asked me if I had ever experienced training camp in Austin. Yes, I experienced training camp in Austin. My first training camp was in Austin. My first year covering the Cowboys. Barry Switzer got arrested at the airport going to training camp for having a gun in his suitcase. This is also the year that Michael Irvin was going through his drug trial in Dallas. So that's my introduction to covering the Cowboys.
Who was your unk on the beat? You know, I'm a young guy. You're my unk on the beat. Who was your unk?
Unfortunately, I didn't have one. I had to do it all by myself.
You didn't
get out the dirt.
There was not even like any veteran guy who was
not with the Star Telegram. No.
Oh, okay.
I do it out the dirt. No, I do it all myself.
Dang.
All right, we headed to our last segment. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Cowboys betting on another injured football player in this draft. Is it a concern for you? Will this work out for the Cowboys and pan out for the Cowboys? We'll discuss it right after this break on DLLS Cowboys Podcast. An ad so good, we got to say it twice. My friends at EmpireToday.com has a deal going for you that you cannot miss. $350 off flooring today. And what I love about Empire is I don't like to be outside much. I come to work, I go home. I go work out, I go home. I don't want to be in these streets. I don't want to be in department stores. I don't want to be in warehouses looking at all these different forms that I have no idea what it is, how it's laid, all that kind of stuff. Well, Empire takes it right out of the work right out of there. They say sit at home. Go on our website, EmpireToday.com, and you can take a picture of the room that you're looking to get new flooring in and just put it up on our prompt. And now you can start adding different flooring to the picture to see if you like it. If you like one, then you call them right up, set up a consultation. They'll come over, they'll get you all set up, and you can save $350 off flooring. All you have to do, head over to EmpireToday.com, use the promo code DLLS, and you can get it going as soon as today. We also got some big news. You see my shirt, right? You see my shirt right there? Which way I got to go? There we go. Big Brothers, Big Sister. ALLCITY is including the teaming up with Big Brothers and Big Sister of America for an exciting 3-year partnership. We are giving back, not just the football knowledge, but we are giving back to the community. It's more than about sports. It's about community. Together, we're combining Big Brother and Big Sister's incredible youth mentoring program with our passion and power of ALLCITY local sports coverages to create something truly meaningful. I've already signed up. I publicly put Jeff on the spot to sign up. I'm asking you guys to go and sign up. Find you a little brother, a little sister, and sign up. Head on over to, what is their website? bbbs.org/ALLCITY and find you someone to put under your wing and mentor today.
Wesley, I get it. Don't worry. Yeah, I get it.
Oh, that's your in-house.
Yeah.
Your in-house with yours.
Yeah.
You
my little brother.
I signed up.
It's my little brother.
I don't think you signed up for this.
No, I signed up for.
Oh, you signed up
I signed
for
up for Big Brothers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I did too.
Yeah.
So we're all signed up, and I guess he's taking you as his little brother.
That's fine.
All right, the Cowboys pick in the 3rd round another injured football player.
Mm-hmm.
High ceiling. If everything works out, the high ceiling. But I know for me, I can't not think about former players who we thought had high ceilings, but came with the injury baggage. Bruce Carter, Jalen Smith, Leighton Vander Esch, Sean Lee, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. And the Cowboys have put some more high-level resources into drafting another injured football player in Shavon Revel. He's coming off the ACL injury. He's tracking to be ready for the season, but we've all talked about it from other injuries that they had on this football team, how long it takes you to truly recover from that level of an ACL injury. Is this going to be one of the picks, of the injured picks that the Cowboys make, that comes to fruition and pays huge dividends for them, not only this year, but years going forward?
I think just because I was here for all of those picks, I think he has a good chance of doing that. First of all, he was 3rd round pick. Most of those guys were higher than that. so he was more invested in injured guy. Jalen Smith had a potentially career-ending injury that he was returning for. The Cowboys were taking a huge chance on the guy who nobody thought could ever play football again.
Dr. Cooper did the surgery.
Again, nobody thought he could ever. He had drop foot that's been set out a whole year, but never thought he could play football again. It was considered a career-threatening injury, and ultimately it was. The fact that he played and came back and played a couple of years and had a Pro Bowl, it was great for him. But what you're talking about is they took a huge chance on the guy that had a career-threatening injury. Leighton Vander Esch, he had a spine injury that was some people didn't even have on their draft board. Okay, Cowboys took a chance on another guy with a potential injury that was going to end his career. It eventually did. Okay, Bruce Carter never lived up to expectations. Came back from injury, never lived up to that. The good news is this is ACL. This is about a 1-year issue if it's anything. But we've seen countless guys. Joey Galloway had 3 ACLs and was walking in the end zone on guys at the end of his career. I've seen a lot of guys come back from ACL and be good players. It's a matter of what he's going to be able to do this year. But I think Revel has a chance to be a long-term answer at cornerback in the coming years. It's just a matter of what can he do this year. But I think he has a better chance than some of those other guys because they had real career-ending type injuries, career-threatening type injuries that always had a ceiling on how good they become, how long they could play.
Yeah, and I think, too, with some of those guys that we've talked about, I think when they were coming out of the draft, there were some kind of red flags in terms of, they had the injury, but also, the word degenerative sometimes gets thrown out in terms of things that might be going on or, hey, I'm not sure that this guy could last 5 to 10 years in the NFL. All the reports so far from Shavon Revel's injury and his recovery have been good. It seems that it was a one-off thing. He was not an injury-prone guy. ACLs do happen. But I think with that in mind, with this 24-year-old rookie that you have, I think you need to make sure that he does everything methodically. I think you need to make sure you check every single box. I think one thing that they kind of ran into last year, different players, but with Trayvon Diggs coming back from the ACL, everyone said, hey, one of the fastest recoveries we've seen. We've been so impressed. We've been blown away. He's going to be ready week 1, and he was. But then I think sometimes when you can race past things, sometimes maybe you put more pressure on other parts of your body or you do other things. And now we saw another injury pop up with Trayvon Diggs. I think there are 2 things I would caveat with Shavon Revel. One, make sure he comes back methodically and that he's going to be ready to go because I think you need this guy not only for 2025, I think you need him to be your starting corner in 2026 and beyond. I think you need him to be a guy that could potentially replace Trayvon Diggs if this is his last year. Deron Bland being a free agent. Obviously, I think that's a guy they'd want to keep. That's a negotiation. You could see something similar to what happened with Osa Odighizuwa, where negotiations probably could come down to a potential franchise tag at the end and that kind of deadline, depending on how Deron Bland plays this year. Obviously, he had some injuries throughout his career so far. So I think with Shavon Revel, make sure that this is a guy that you bring back methodically because you're going to need him. You're going to have to rely on him.
I tore an ACL in 1990. You ever tore an ACL?
No.
Any type of knee injury? No.
Yeah, I had a meniscus.
Meniscus, yeah. So I tore an ACL. I didn't rehab it like I should have because I don't get paid to rehab.
Yeah, Jeff didn't rehab his like he was supposed to.
I don't get paid to. I don't have nobody. I had to go and do all the things on my own, and it's different.
Yeah,
but there's no reason. ACLs are not career-ending injuries. There's no reason the ACL repair, all the other stuff compared to where it was years ago when it used to be a career-ending injury. People come back for Joey Galloway had 3. Okay,
yeah. Marvin Overshown's just had 2.
Yeah, but I'm just
but there are also other cases, right? In the same vein, we saw Michael Gallup have the ACL injury and never return back to form.
No, it was a confidence thing.
Right. Okay. So, but that goes along with it. And we haven't had a chance to meet Revel just yet and understand where he is mentally.
I actually met him.
I'm saying
over
time. I know you met him, but you didn't really know him. You don't know him. But you haven't spent enough time to know, all right, what is this guy's mental? You met him in a conversation, but you wouldn't be able to tell whether or not he's mentally back where he wants to be.
Right. To be honest with you, I interviewed him for 20 minutes, and I think that there is some pretty semblance of this is in the thrust of his rehab. He said all the right things.
Well, he's going to say he's supposed to say all the right things.
No, but you can I call cap on this.
No, I call cap on this.
I call cap on this.
You don't know. You don't know. You don't.
Yeah, you can get a sense of someone in first impressions for sure.
Oh my God, sir, you both are right. But ultimately, you don't know him deep down.
No, I don't know him deep down.
And that's what I'm talking about.
I'm like, we knew that because we got a chance to spend time around Michael Gallup, when he came back, we could physically, like, we could see that he wasn't the same person because we got a chance to know him. We spent time with him. We watched him play for overtime.
For sure.
Yeah.
You don't know him,
but you think
minutes.
I think you can tell when someone has the capability or not.
Well,
pretty quickly.
And my point is this: there are a million ACL surgeries. I had it. My daughter had it. Most people come back.
For sure.
It's not. So yes, there are people that haven't, like Michael Gallup, and Nate's trying to come back a year later. He feels probably more comfortable. That's why he's unretiring. But most people come back and can't play with it. It's just a matter of when.
But we're also talking about confidence, right? And I think some people have confidence and others don't. I think you can tell very, very quickly who's confident and who's not.
But you gain it over time. You can't. He can say all the right things. He can't get the confidence until he gets on the field and can do the things that he's done before and do it instinctively.
I agree.
And so we won't know that and he won't know that until he's on the field and doing things instinctively. That's how we're saying. He can say all the right things, but until he's on the field and can move fluidly and instinctively and not think about it, that's when we know he's back, and that's when he'll know he's back, and no one knows that right now.
I've talked to people that were pretty nervous about ACL stuff, about recovery, like, I don't know if I'm going to be back the right way. And I think you could tell pretty quickly that maybe their confidence has a chance to be shook. I don't think that's the case with Shavon Revel. I think has the capabilities to be a very confident guy. And I think you can tell that early on.
But the confidence is bolstered by
100%, but we're talking about the potential because he's not on the field.
Yeah. So that's all we're saying is that we won't know, and you can say I have a good idea, but you don't know until it gets over, because that's when your confidence gets shattered. When you can't do what you think you can, you feel you can, you're a confident guy, but until you do like Joey Galloway and still running 4-2 and walking into the end zone because you're an awful guy, you won't know.
Yeah, I'm just saying, don't discredit interviews because you might be able to actually meet someone and get a chance for what they have capability.
No, I'm not discrediting your interview. I'm discrediting
your knowledge that you know him.
No, and I didn't say I know him down to the bone. No, I said that I actually had a chance to meet with him and talk with him.
Yeah, but you don't know him in 20 minutes.
For sure.
That's my point. I'm not discrediting your interview. I'm saying in 20 minutes, you can't know a man's inner thoughts and deep feelings about his confidence in being able to come back from an ACL.
No, I know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't discredit your interview. I'm saying in 20 minutes, you're like, oh, I met him. I'm like, you didn't meet him. You're like, oh, no, I know him. No, you don't know the man. You haven't spent any time with him. We haven't been around him.
No, I know, but I'm adding context to the situation is what I'm saying.
Aaron's in the super chat. What's up, Aaron? Back on the road. Love the draft. Let's go. Deuce, what it says? Deuce get any vet treatment or lucky not cut like Malik Davis. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, talking about Deuce Vaughn.
I mean, Malik was just had been around for a long time, and I think that kind of run his course.
Deuce got family inside the building. They're going to give him a chance to go to camp.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think Deuce makes it out of camp.
No.
The Dallas Cowboys.
No,
but he gets to go to camp.
No, I think.
I think they had to get down to 90
for sure.
So I think they're at 90, either 90 or 91.
They're at 91 because they're an international player. They get
they're good.
But they're good. So I'm like, he's going to camp, but I don't think Deuce makes it out of.
No, the drafting of Jaydon Blue was the end of Deuce Vaughn. There's no question about that.
Yeah. Travis in the super chat, join late. I'm with Joe. Booker has too much national talent and charisma. Smith, BB, Booker, give me hopium. A la Smith, Frederick Martin. I can't even read that last word. Triumvirate.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know that word.
You don't know that?
No.
It's just a threesome.
Oh.
Yeah,
wow.
Triumvirate. Yeah.
Shout out to you, Travis.
Yeah, Triumvirate. I know
the more you know. Yeah. Shout out to you, too.
Anyway.
Discrediting your knowledge of the words.
I like Booker. And I think he's I hope he's going to be a really good player. I haven't seen him. I'll have more opinion on it when he gets on the football field with other NFL players. Mm-hmm. And if you have the hopium, Travis, right now is the time to have it.
And the problem with that is, I keep saying it, they won nothing with Smith, Frederick, and Martin. Love them.
Yeah, but
love them.
But they won a lot of games.
We act like it was Nate and them guys and Larry Allen.
But they still were good.
They were good.
They still were good at what they did.
But the goal is to win the damn
Super
Bowl.
But all he's saying is that he has hopium that they'll be as good. Okay. He's not saying that they're going to win a Super Bowl. He's saying, I have hopium that this is going to be a good.
I know.
If you're going to win a Super Bowl, you need a good offensive line.
Well, they had that good offensive line.
I know, and they didn't, but that's still a prerequisite.
Is it?
For winning a Super Bowl?
Does it have to be first-round picks, though? I mean,
it doesn't have to be, but it has to be good players.
Yeah.
I mean, having first-round picks help.
I know. How many Eagles got up front?
What? Well, Jordan Mailata was a 7th round pick, but he's still one of the best offensive linemen.
Right. My point is, only in Dallas you have to have first round talents to have a damn good offensive line. It drives me crazy.
Well, I think we got spoiled. Dallas fans got spoiled with that. But you do need good players up front.
No, you want good players. You want good players. You hope they are. And at the end of the day, I want a good team. We focus on positions because they ain't won nothing. We focus on legends and individual play and individual stars. We fall in love with them. We love Tony and we love Dez, and we still got a lot of Dez acolytes out there because they won nothing as a team. And so
but you need good players to win a Super Bowl.
You need a lot of them.
I know they've had a good amount of them.
Yeah, I don't think having a little bit of hopium about a group of guys coming together is not a bad thing.
I'm not saying that.
Travis, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think you can have that. This is the time to have that. Until you get to training camp and you start things going one way or the other, it's a good time to have that. All right, man, that's the show for us today. Hopefully, Jeff's back tomorrow and I can sit back in my seat and be interrupted by Clarence. But thank you all for joining us. And as Jeff always says, be kind because you never know what anyone's going through. And as I say, eliminate the contingencies.
We all silly like the mayor.